Colorado High School Activities Association basketball is on 1010 KSIR and on the World Wide Web at KSIR.com. This morning from Moby Arena in Fort Collins, it's a 3A state quarterfinal as the Brush Bee Diggers take on the Faith Christian Eagles along with Jen Goodall. I'm John Beltran. These teams got to this point by winning 2 games last Friday and Saturday as the Bee Diggers won at home over Basalt 55-18, then took out Moffat County 68-58. In the second round of the 3A state tournament. Faith Christian went to Carbondale, defeated Centauri by 5, 54-49, and then stunned the 5th seed, Roaring Fork, which was the host school, 55-33, as Faith Christian is the 21st seed going into this game at 14-10. The Bee Diggers are the 4th seed at 21-3. Faith Christian has won 16 consecutive games at Moby Arena. They've won the last 5 3A championships, and then won a consolation third-place game back in 2007. So, Jen, even more incentive for the Bee Diggers to win this game, not only to advance to the semifinals, but knock off a team that has not lost here in over half a decade.
Well, not only that, but there is a slight rivalry between Brush and any of the private schools. So it's always nice to beat Faith Christian, Holy Family, any of those guys. It doesn't break anybody's heart in Brush, but they go down.
Well, and Faith Christian dominated Brush for years in football. Then the Bee Diggers have got them the last couple of times. Same thing was happening with Ken Denver until the Bee Diggers won a couple of years ago in the state semifinals in Denver. But basketball is a sport they haven't played too much against each other. When you look back at the 2009 postseason, the Bee Diggers played Faith Christian in Salida, and Faith Christian won that game rather handily. That was in the opening round of the state tournament, and that was the year in which Faith Christian won their second straight Class 3A title. Now, one thing the Bee Diggers have got to utilize, especially when you're going back-to-back-to-back, which they've done throughout the course of the season, but I would think in this situation, Jen, the bench plays the biggest role in that rotation since you are playing back-to-back-to-back games for the first time the whole season.
Well, and the thing that they have to be careful of is minutes, and that's Coach Garcia's probably main concern, is making sure that they don't get too fatigued at one time, getting those kids rotated in. And we have a deep bench, so I don't know what Faith Christian usually plays, but our bench is usually 10 deep, and we have 12 seated.
Well, Alex Albright, a senior, is the top player for Faith Christian in the scoring column. A couple of games have been played already here from Moby Arena in Fort Collins in the opening game, and the boys quarterfinal between Colorado Academy and Pagosa Springs. It was the 2nd seed, Colorado Academy, losing to the 7th seed Pagosa Springs, 54-51. Then the Pagosa Springs girls were on the court moments ago. They had a 30-26 lead as they took on Denver School of Science and Technology. And Denver Science won that game as the 3 seed beat the 6 seed 39-32. Keep in mind the winner of this game coming up today between Brush and Faith Christian will play tomorrow at 4 o'clock against the winner of today's 4 o'clock game featuring Ken Denver and Sterling. The loser will play tomorrow morning at 11:45 in the consolation semifinals against the loser of that Ken Denver-Sterling game. Keep in mind we'll have video of this game up on our KSIRsports.com page. We've already got video from last week's games. All you have to do is click on Brush Videos and you check out the running video of last week's 37-point victory over Basalt and then the Saturday victory by 10 over Moffat County as the starting lineups will be introduced soon. And the one thing, Jen, you don't know with Brush who the starting lineup's going to be. That's how deep this team is. It's not like they bring in 5 players off the bench, and we mentioned this last week, but for our bigger audience, that necessarily are the second-team players. These guys could be just as strong as the starters.
Yeah, there's only been 2 people that have really been consistent, and that's Jeffrey Dunker and Mitch Tormolen. Those 2 are kind of the set 2, and then everybody else kind of fills in wherever they want to.
The Bee Diggers, of course, are coached by Ken Garcia. George Muscle and Dan Kennedy are the assistants. Faith Christian head coach by Andrew Haas. The assistants are Brian Wall, Rick Long, Kyle Altier, and Steve Tweedell. And even though Faith Christian is the 21st seed, the mentality of a champion is what can be intimidating to the opposing team, but I don't think these Bee Diggers are going to be facing that intimidation in this game.
Well, and you never overlook anybody. You know, you take it one game at a time. That game's done, then you move on to the next.
The Bead Diggers are wearing their home whites because they're the higher seed, and Faith Christian, their road maroons with the gold numerals and lettering. The Bead Diggers with the maroon numerals and the gold lettering, going for their 6th consecutive win and their 22nd of the year. Looking to hand Faith Christian their first loss in the state tournament in 6 years. Quite a run for the Eagles, so the Bead Diggers can actually make a lot of history. As Digger Dan is also here at Moby Arena in Fort Collins. This is the 3rd of 8 games to be played today, 4 quarterfinals on the boys' side and the girls' side. Later on the boys' side, as we mentioned, Ken Denver will be playing Sterling at 4 o'clock, and then at 7 o'clock it's Eaton against Holy Family. That's the 22nd seed against the 3rd seed. The game after this on the girls' side will be at 1:15. That'll be Centauri, the top seed, against the 9th seed Bishop Matchbuff. And then at 8:30 tonight, it will be Holy Family in action against Trinidad. And that, of course, is preceded by the 5:30 game, Ken Denver against St. Mary's. All right, Alex Albright, of course, in the starting lineup for Faith Christian. Their big score, along with Christian Cambier. Liam Noon in the middle, a sophomore, is Miles Finch. And Spencer Baz in the backcourt for Faith Christian. The Bead Diggers go with Jake Brown, a junior forward, along with Bryce Needens, another junior. The senior center is Mitch Tormolen. And in the backcourt are junior Randy Baker and Jeffrey Dunker. Opening tip for this game brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance with 2 locations in Brush and Fort Morgan. Ingmeyer Phillips can help you with home, car, health, or life insurance questions or needs. That's Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. As we alluded to last week, the Bead Diggers have been slow starters, but that normally has been at home. When they have played on the road, they've gotten off to some very quick starts. And there are numerous examples, including a 13-point victory at University earlier this year, at Lions, at Frontier Academy. It'll be Mitch Tormolen jumping center for Brush against Miles Finch. Can the Bead Diggers end the 16-game winning streak by Faith Christian in Fort Collins? 32 minutes of basketball will determine that. Tormolen against Finch. The ball is in the air, and the tip is controlled by Faith Christian. Alex Albright with the basketball. Back out to Noon. Noon will set it up just beyond the timeline, dribbling to his right. Cross-court pass to Cambier. Cambier in the left corner, back over there to Albright. Now back over to Noon. Noon to his right. Bounce pass to Albright. Knocked away by Dunker. Ball is loose in the front court. Picked up by Dunker, then stolen away by Albright. Then he lost the basketball. It's taken by Noon in the back court. The teams essentially exchange turnovers with a basketball. Cambier on the outside left. And the Bead Diggers have a collapsing defense that certainly is going to provide a lot of issues for Faith Christian. Back out on the high left to Cambier with a basketball. Looking down low. Swings it on the outside right to Baz. Baz to his right against Needens. In the right corner for Finch. Double team. Bounce pass to Baz, and he misses the 3. And then we got a tie-up for the rebound. That was Liam Noon who missed the 3. Tied up between Brown and Alex Albright. The Bead Diggers will have the basketball as the possession arrow is pointing in their direction.
Well, and the Bead Diggers have started off in a 2-3 zone, but it's kind of a matchup zone, so they're able to collapse, and Faith Christian is running a very similar offense to Sterling, so that's not something that the Bead Diggers are unfamiliar with.
They'll apply the backcourt pressure. Dunker into the front court for Brush at the free throw line in the lane. Pulls up from 10. That's off the back of the rim, and the ball is rebounded by Spencer Baz of Faith Christian. On the outlet, into the front court comes Cambier. Bounce pass in the right corner for Noon. Down low in the lane. The ball was stripped away as it was taken by Baz. Knocked out of bounds, but it went off of the leg of Baz. The turnover for Faith Christian is their second, and that's what the Bead Diggers are going to do. They're going to force turnovers because that's been their MO all season defensively. Needens to trigger it in the backcourt. We have played 1 minute and 12 seconds. No score in this game. Randy Baker still with the basketball. Met at midcourt by Liam Noon. Baker swings it on the outside left to Bryce Needens. Needens motioning Jeffrey Dunker down low. Holding the ball up high. Dribbles to his right. Picks up the dribble. On the high left, back out to Dunker, guarded by Albright. Crossover dribble on the left baseline. 10-footer, yes! for Jeffrey Dunker. Those are the first points for the Bead Diggers in this 2013 3A state tournament. On the outside left, Baz with the basketball, looking in the corner. Jump pass towards Christian Cambier near the timeline. With 6:09 to go in the first quarter, the Bead Diggers 2 and the Eagles nothing. On the high right, Albright with the basketball. Bounce pass in the right corner. Take it over there, and the three-pointer's up and missed off the back of the rim. Bryce Needens has the rebound as Cambier missed that shot. Here come the Bead Diggers the other way. Needens at the top of the three-point circle. On the outside left to Baker. Baker dribbles to his right. Looks like he was fouled. The ball was stripped. He was looking for a whistle, and it's taken away by Faith Christian. With the basketball as Cambier, he hooks and he misses, and the ball is loose on the floor. Finch has it, puts it back up, and he misses. And Mitch Tormolen with a rebound for the Bead Diggers. Boy, some tough defense, lots of contact, and no whistles.
Well, they're going to let him play. Ooh.
Brown had the ball go off his hands, but he chases it down on the outside right. Would have had a layup. Needens fakes a three. 16-foot pull-up is off the front of the rim and off to the right. And Miles Finch with a rebound for Faith Christian. We've got 5:19 to go in the opening quarter. Brush 2, Faith Christian nothing. Noon with a basketball near the top. Looks back at head coach Andrew Haas for play instructions. Picked up by Dunker. Noon maintains the dribble on the outside left to Albright. Penetrates left baseline. Jump pass over there to Boz. Boz in a lane, leans, and the pass went off of Miles Finch. It was wide open for a layup, but it went off his hands out of bounds. The turnover for Faith Christian is their third. Here come the Bead Diggers with Austin Garcia, Trey Cranston, and Kyle Rosenbrock. Remaining in the game are Mitch Tormolen and Jeffrey Dunker. The first substitution made 3 minutes into the game. Cranston to Garcia. And also Faith Christian comes in with Rory Gishwiller. On the outside right, Rosenbrock dribbles towards the top, back out to Tormolen. Tormolen with the basketball, on the high left to Garcia. Garcia gets a pick from Tormolen, looking. On the outside left, Tormolen, back to Garcia, to his right into the lane, on the baseline, leans over to Dunker, to the right of the free throw line. Dunker swings it down low, the ball's knocked away, intended for Rosenbrock, and it's intercepted by Baz. Third turnover for Brush in the right corner, off the hands of David Hawkins, out of bounds, who just came into the game. Turnover number 4 for Faith Christian. Both of these teams a little bit tight in the early going.
They are, and both teams are now in a man-to-man, so any pressure that Faith Christian has shown so far is just straight-up man-to-man. They're not trapping or making it as a zone press.
Austin Garcia for the Bead Diggers, met at midcourt by Gishweiler. Garcia dribbling to his right, picks up the dribble, bounce pass to Dunker. On the outside left to Cranston. Cranston dribbles into the lane. His runner is up and around, and no good. And Ataya for the rebound between Tormolen and Baz, Faith Christian basketball. And that ball was all over the rim by Cranston. It just didn't go down, and Faith Christian has the ball. And you have a feeling all the Bead Diggers have to do is knock down a couple of shots. They could really...
Yeah, I kind of thought they'd get rolling after Jeffrey made that first little baseline, but...
4 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Brush 2, Faith Christian nothing. Hawkins with the basketball on the outside right, back out to Baz. Down low, wide open is Finch, and he banks and scores. And the game is deadlocked at 2. Garcia the other way for the Bead Diggers. Met by Gishwiller on the outside left to Cranston. Bounce pass to Dunker. Dunker left baseline, leans, hooks it up, and that's around and in for Jeffrey Dunker. A little right-handed shot. And the Bead Diggers back up 4-2. Here's Albright in the left corner. Bounce pass left baseline. Take it over there by Hawkins. Hawkins spinning. Back out to Albright. Albright against Garcia at the free throw line. Over to Gishwiller. Gishwiller with 3:19 to go. Bead Diggers up by 2. Bounce pass outside left to Hawkins. In the lane, trapped by Tormolen. Nearly tied up. Looked like he traveled or double dribbled, but it's down low. Here's Albright getting stumped over there by Tormolen on that shot. And Trey Cranston comes away with the basketball. Here come the Bead Diggers. Long pass to Garcia. Nearly lost the ball. Puts it up. He forced it. Rosenbrock has it down low. Kicks it to Dunker. 3 in the air. Yes! For Jeffrey Dunker! Dunker scores. He's got all 7 points. Brush 7. Faith Christian 2. 2:48 to go in the opening quarter. With a basketball near that left corner. Albright penetrating. Cut off by Rosenbrock. Back out to Finch. Straight away to Gishwiller on the outside right to Hawkins. Hawkins in the lane to Albright, double team, bounce pass out to Gishwiller, 3 in the air, is off the back of the rim, and there's a push-off. It looked like Dunker was fouled, or did he commit the foul? No, Dunker committed the foul. That's his first. It's the first of the game, with 2:34 to go here in the opening quarter, and Brush leading Faith Christian 7-2, but Jeffrey Dunker's come out strong.
He has, and they're in a 2-3 zone. They went back to the zone right now.
Left corner, Hawkins won't take that 3, dribbles to his right, picked up by Garcia, near the top now to Baz. Baz with the basketball on the outside left to Albright. Penetrating left baseline against Garcia. He hooks it up and in. Off the glass for Alex Albright. Rush 7, Faith Christian 4. 2:16 to go in the opening quarter from Moby Arena and Fort Collins in the 3A quarterfinal. Cranston with the basketball, dribbling to his left. Looking for a pick from Tormolen. Feeds it to Tormolen in the left corner. Back to his right to Dunker. Dunker near the top, motioning the offense. Left to the lane. Dunker back out to Tormolen. Tormolen pulls up from 7. Good. Tormolen in the lane scores, and the B-Diggers lead 9-4. 1:53 to go here in the opening quarter from Moby Arena. Hawkins with the basketball near the top. Back out on the outside right is Gishwiller. At the top to Albright, penetrating right in the lane. Back out to Gishwiller in the right corner. Finch, his shot is up and no good. And Kyle Rosenbrock has the rebound for the B-Diggers, his second. Rosenbrock into the front court with the basketball. At the top, he's going to have to back it out in the left corner for Cranston. Cranston looking down low. Cross court to Tormolen, too high. He would have had a layup if the ball goes out of bounds. And the B-Diggers commit their 4th turnover, and that would have been a 7-point lead for Brush.
Well, and that was a great job by Mitch losing his defensive player on that play. He went high like he always flashes high to get the ball reversal. That time he just backdoor cut right behind him.
B&B Appliance at 502 Ensign in Fort Morgan can help you save water, energy, and the environment without sacrificing quality and performance, that is. Change for the better. B&B Appliance. On the outside right, Albright with the basketball. Right corner to Gishwiller. Into the lane is Baz. He turns, he hooks, and he scores. Spencer Baz makes it a 9-6 Brush lead. We've got 1:02 to go in the opening quarter. Garcia into the front court on the outside right behind his back at the free throw line. Looking, spinning. Back on the high right to Rosenbrock. Now near the timeline over to Trey Cranston to his left. Hands it off to Garcia. Lost the basketball. Got it right back with 47 seconds to go. On the high left to Baker. Baker looking. Dribbling to his right. Back out to Garcia. Fakes the three to his left. Jump pass to Nichols in the left baseline. Over to Baker. Baker in the lane puts it up. And he's fouled. Well, he slashed right into the lane and the foul was committed by, looks like, Grant Harkness. Harkness with the first foul for Faith Christian. Randy Baker to the stripe. And the free throw is up, and that is in and out. And the B-Diggers have got to hit their free throws. They've not been consistent this season. You don't have to travel out of town to receive the best and most advanced hearing health care. Platte Valley Hearing Center, 409 East Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. Andrew Lanier is into the game for Faith Christian. Second free throws off the front of the rim and good for Randy Baker. And the B-Diggers now with a 10-6 lead, 33 seconds to go. Left baseline all the way, scooping it up. Reverse layup blocked by Baker, taken by Baz. Faith Christian retains possession.
Well, we got lucky on that one that they hustled back because we were a little bit behind. That was looking to be a layup.
Gishwiller to throw it in. Lobbing it out to Lanier on the high left. Left corner, Gishwiller. Three in the air is going to be off the front of the rim. Randy Baker goes high for the rebound. Long pass from Baker to Rosenbrock underneath the basket. Tried to save it in, and he did to Nichols. B-Diggers can take the final shot of the first quarter. Outstanding play by Rosenbrock. 14 seconds to go. Cranston with the basketball, dribbling to his right. Looking for Nichols. Feeds it on the high left. 8 seconds to go. Nichols spinning against Harkness at the top for Baker with 5 seconds to go. With 4 outside right, Garcia, long three is going to be well off to the right. And the rebound grabbed by Harkness. And that is the end of the opening quarter. With the score, Brush 10, Faith Christian 6. You're listening to the 2013 3A State Tournament right here on 1010 KSRR and KSRR.com. John Beltran, Jen Goodall back from Moby Arena in Fort Collins. The B-Diggers have the ball to be in the second quarter, leading Faith Christian 10-6. Jeffrey Dunker on the outside left to Randy Baker. Out there with Bryce Needens, Mitch Tormolen, and Jake Brown. Baker spinning into the lane, hooks it up, and off the back of the rim, and the ball is loose, and it's still loose. Jake Brown has it. He puts it up and in! Jake Brown using some muscle down low. Into the front court, Alex Albright with the basketball. Faith Christian not wasting any time. 12-6 Brush. Back out to Andrew Lanier, and here is Liam Noon just across midcourt. Out there with Ryan Gishwiller and Grant Harkness. Lanier with the basketball against Dunker between his legs on the outside left to Noon. Jump pass knocked out of bounds by Baker, intended for Liam Noon. Faith Christian will inbound the basketball. Look to the team at Valley View for rehab, short-term or long-term care needs. 815 Fremont, or call them at 867-8261. That's Valley View Villa. On the outside left, Albright with the basketball in the lane. He's cut off. Back out to Noon to his left at the top. On the outside right, and it's stolen by Bryce Needens. Needens into the front court. stripped from behind by Gishwiller against Baker. Hooks it up and off the back of the rim, no good. Rebounded, put back, blocked by Dunker, but it's put up and off the back of the rim, bouncing around and missed by Albright. Here comes Dunker with a basketball off the rebound. The Beat Diggers the other way. Dunker left of the free throw line, and he puts up a 15-footer off the back of the rim, and the long rebound is controlled there by Rory Gishwiller. Long pass towards Harkness out of bounds, and Faith Christian commits their sixth turnover, and Faith Christian trying to beat the Beat Diggers kind of at their own game.
Well, and they're, both teams are wanting to run, and I think both teams are adaptable to that, so they need to make sure that they have someone getting back, because, like what we did with Sterling, we released one player. If we can do that again, then we're going to be able to sneak in front of these guys, but hopefully they don't do that to us.
Here comes Brush the other way with Jeffrey Dunker with a 12-6 lead with 6:39 to go in the second quarter. Dribbling on the outside left against Alex Albright. Near the top to Needens. Needens with the basketball on the high right to Baker. Baker jump pass inside. Intercepted over there by Gishwiller. Beat Diggers turn it over for a sixth time. Bounce pass over to Noon. Noon nearly tied up by Dunker. Noon retains the dribble. Bounce pass on the outside right to Albright against Needens at the free throw line. Bounce pass down low to Bass, and he is fouled from behind by Tor Mullen as he misses the layup. And to the line will be Spencer Baz. And the interior defense kind of broke down there for the Beat Diggers.
Right, they did. Got someone, and we've had a habit of that where we slide too far up in the lane instead of maintaining that baseline and keeping them out of there.
Spencer Baz to attempt the two free throws for Faith Christian, with the Beat Diggers leading by 6. The first free throw is up, and that one is good. Letter jackets, T-shirts, and more. Bijou T-Quest, 302 Main Street in Fort Morgan for all of your sports apparel. And Northeast Colorado's locally owned Hometown Savings and Loan in Fort Morgan and Brush, Equitable Savings and Loan. Second free throw back rimmed, and the ball is a tie-up between Tor Mullen and Albright. It stays with Faith Christian. So they'll have the basketball with 6:16 to go, second quarter. Brush 12, Faith Christian 7 to the right of the basket. Or no, the Beat Diggers will have it. Randy Baker with a long baseball pass to Needens. Oh, I thought it was Faith Christian basketball. I guess they suckered the referees. That's exactly what happened.
That was a great play.
Yeah, it was a fantastic play, but even the Faith Christian faithful, no pun intended, were yelling for it, and I was wondering why as well, because it clearly was Faith Christian's ball off the initial instruction, and now they do have the ball, as the possession arrow was pointing their way. And to throw it in will be Cambier for Faith Christian. Looking down low to Albright to Cambier, gets defenders in the air, banks and scores. And again, the interior defense broke down. Brush 12, Faith Christian 9, 6:06 to go in the second quarter. Bryce Needens with the basketball, met by Cambier, crossover dribble at the top, left of the lane, and then he traveled. Turnover number 7, Faith Christian was 6 of the game. The Beat Diggers are going to apply some pressure in the backcourt. And that's getting the Faith Christian crowd going. Beat Diggers had a shot for a 7-point lead. Albright with a 3-on-2. Left baseline to Finch, and he banks, and he scores, and he's fouled. Miles Finch to the line to shoot one, and he can tie the game. Now, I'm not sure who committed the foul. It's amazing. This is the state tournament, and nowhere on the board do they give you an indication of who committed the foul. You've got to figure it out for yourself, unless you physically see the official. And the Finch free throw is off to the right. Randy Baker has the rebound for the Beat Diggers. Baker into the front court. He's got a 5-on-4. Baker on the outside right to Rosenbrock. Steps in, little 10-footer off the glass, no good. Ball is tipped around into the hands of Baker. Baker jump pass. He's fouled in the lane. And the Faith Christian foul was committed by Alex Albright. Beat Diggers inbounds the basketball with 5:40 to go, second quarter. Brush 12, Faith Christian 11. Needens underneath the basket. Down low to Rosenbrock, scoops it up and misses. An easy shot, rebound to Finch. And the outlet pass taken in the front court by Gishwiller. Right of the lane, bounce pass down low, and the ball is loose, and it's picked up by Rosenbrock. Turnover number 7 for Faith Christian. Rosenbrock ahead of the field, lays it up, and in! And a foul! Kyle Rosenbrock to the line to shoot one.
That was a great defensive play. That time the Beat Diggers were back in position, and Kyle snuck in behind, and so the pass going off the shins of one player went to the hands on the floor and the other, and Kyle reached from behind him and stole it from underneath his legs.
And Rory Gishwiller committed the foul. Here comes Rosenbrock. would give the Bead Diggers a 4-point lead with 5:24 to go before the break. The Bead Diggers sophomore bends, shoots, connects. Brush 15, Faith Christian 11. With a basketball in the front court is Gishwiller. Near that corner to Baz, dribbling to his right. Back out to Cambier. Christian Cambier to his right against Austin Garcia. Swings it right side to Gishwiller. To Cambier. Cambier with a basketball to his right. Right of the lane. Dribbles by defender. Back out to Albright. Albright stuck in the lane and he traveled. Excellent call over there. We got one official who's really on top of it here, and that is turnover number 8 for Faith Christian, and the Eagles will pressure. And if the Bead Diggers can do what they've done throughout the course of the season, they can beat that press.
Well, it's just a straight man-to-man press, so.
Inbounds to Garcia. Garcia into the front court with a basketball just across the timeline, setting up the Bead Digger offense as Brush leads 15-11 over Faith Christian to Needens. Down low to Baker, lost the basketball, loose on the floor, picked up by Dunker. Down low to Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock is trapped over there. He goes up, and he misses the shot, and then a foul in the back court as the rebound was grabbed by Spencer Baz. And the rebound by Baz and a foul on Bryce Needens is first. And for Needens, that's his second personal. With 4:43 to go before halftime, Brush 15, Faith Christian 11. Committed to serving those in production ag. Premier Farm Credit is the gold standard in ag lending. Rory Gishwiller across the timeline. Back out to Cambier at the free throw line for Albright. Cut off by Rosenbrock. Back out over there to Cambier. Near the top to Gishwiller. In the left corner for Baz against Dunker. Dribbling to his right. Swings it down low off of Albright. Intercepted by Randy Baker. Baker with a 2-on-1. Over to Trey Cranston. Off the glass and in for Cranston. The Bead Diggers now lead by 6. And Brush is now on a 5-0 run. 17-11. 4:09 to go before the break. Gishwiller fakes the three. Down low for Albright. Left baseline to Baz all the way. And his shot is blocked out of there by Baker, who cannot save it in, and he goes flying over the Bead Digger bench. It'll be Faith Christian basketball. What a play by Baker. It doesn't matter if the Bead Diggers don't have a tall team. They have got a team that can block shots. And a timeout, 30-second timeout called by Faith Christian head coach Andrew Haas, with the Bead Diggers in the lead by a score of 17-11 in this 3A state quarterfinal. And Brush has responded very well to Faith Christian closing to within a point. And that's what you need if you're going to advance to the next round of this 3A state tournament.
Well, and they've been able to do that all year. I mean, you know, Sterling got close, then they shut him down and kind of took over in the fourth quarter of that game that we saw over at UNC. And it's just one of those things that you have to have a knack for it, and you have to have the bodies for it. And with as deep a bench as Brush has, we're able to conclude with that and keep going with it for the rest of the season.
Don't let finances stand in your way of pursuing your college education. Visit MCC online at morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session that'll get you on the right track and find out what options are available to help you. No matter what age you are at MCC, you can imagine your possibilities, believe in yourself, and achieve your goal. Morgan Community College, Albright to throw it in three-quarters court to Rory Gishwiller. Out there with Christian Cambier, Grant Harkness, and Spencer Baz. Ball knocked away by Rosenbrock. Out there with Cranston, Baker, Jeffrey Dunker, and Austin Garcia. Just across the timeline, Cambier with a basketball. On the outside right to Albright. Penetrates right baseline. The hook shot is up and no good. And Kyle Rosenbrock has the rebound for Brush. Bead Diggers have a 2-on-1. Rosenbrock all the way, scoops it up. Too strong. Rebound is controlled by Cambier. Cambier to Gishwiller into the front court to Albright. Albright left of the lane. Jump pass down low to Baz. Baz tries to hook it up and in, and he does nicely. Baz now with 5 points in the game. Brush 17, Faith Christian 13, with 3:19 to go before the break. Dunker across midcourt. Picked up by Albright. Bounce pass to Cranston. Cranston looking near the top. Down low to Baker. Baker fades from 16. That's an air ball, and the ball is taken away over there by Albright. Second rebound for Albright to Gishwiller in the front court. Outside left to Cambier, and Faith Christian will slow it down as we're under 3 minutes to go. And the Bead Diggers up by 4 in the second. Gishwiller right baseline. His hook off the glass is no good. Put back is up, and that's missed by Albright. Harness goes up, and he misses. And then Rosenbrock comes down with a rebound. The Bead Diggers very fortunate there. Too many rebounds. Here's Dunker in the lane, scoops it up wildly and misses. And Harkness has his third rebound for Faith Christian. Cambier with a basketball. Left baseline to Baz. Baz runs into Baker, puts it up. And a blocking foul, and they're going to call it on the floor. Yeah, they want a three-point play, but that should be on the floor. Well, you can't call continuation there. That's an NBA continuation. Yeah, it should be on the floor on Baker, and they're going to count the basket. I think they're counting the or no.
No, it's...
Yeah, but I thought I just saw him count the basket after initially they said it was on the floor.
Oh, they did count it. They just put 15 up.
So Ken Garcia is not going to be happy about that. Let's see what they do. Well, they can put, if they're inbounding it, they can't count the basket. You can't have it both ways. You can't inbound it and count the basket. How do the Bee Diggers not see that? Bounce pass into Albright. They can count the basket. They got to contest it. Shot by Albright is missed. He goes back up and in. You cannot count the basket there. It should be set. Now they're taking points away from Brush. Oh, boy, what a mess. What a mess. Yeah, they got to fix that scoreboard. And now they got a violation on Trey Cranston. The score is all wrong. They've got 16 to 15 up there. Should be 7. Okay, now it's right, 17-15. Not 17-17. Anyway, Cranston with a turnover as he carried the ball. So they just kept the 15 up, and once Albright made the shot off the inbounds pass, they said it was good from there. So now Faith Christian can tie the game with a bucket. We've got 2:15 to go, second quarter. Brush 17, Faith Christian 15. With the basketball is Liam Noon against Garcia. On the outside left is Hawkins. His shot by Albright is missed in the lane, and the rebound is controlled by Dunker. Dunker now with a couple of rebounds to Garcia, to Cranston, banks, and scores! Cranston off the pass from Garcia. Brush 19, Faith Christian 15, a minute 53 to go, second quarter. Outside right with the basketball is Noon. He'll dribble towards the timeline and slow it down. Noon looking back at the Faith Christian bench. On the outside left with the basketball, Spencer Baz gets a pick. On the outside right, faking as Noon pulls up from 15. That's a beauty for Liam Noon. And the Eagles to within 2 with a minute 30 to go. Dunker into the front court with the basketball at the top. On the outside right to Cranston, right corner for Garcia. He'll take the three. Good! That's a big one for Austin Garcia. The Bee Diggers needed that one badly because Faith Christian was coming back. Here's Noon in the front court. In the right corner, Baz penetrating. He hooks it up wildly and misses. And the rebound and put back by Harden is no good. And then let's see, the Bee Diggers can save it in. No, I think it's off for Rosenbrock out of bounds. Let's say Faith Christian hitting the boards very hard here in the opening half. And the Bee Diggers are struggling getting some rebounds. And Liam Noon will throw it in as Alex Albright is out and Christian Cambier is in with a minute 9 to go and Brush up by 5. And this time Cambier will throw it in. Looking. Back out to Noon. And then he lost the ball, and it's taken away by Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock on the bounce pass to Baker. Baker all the way scoops it up around, no good. And the ball is knocked out of bounds. It should be off Faith Christian. No, they're going to say it's off Brush. And the Bee Diggers have missed way too many opportunities on the other end.
Well, and I think the Bee Diggers need to take a step back. You still got a whole bunch of time left in this first half, so we need to make sure that defensively we're sound, which we've been, and take advantage of the steals that we get. With
1:01 to go, Brush 22, Faith Christian 17. Faith Christian basketball. Rory Gishwiller will dribble it into the front court. Picked up by Garcia on the outside right to Cambier. Cambier to his left. To the top to Albright on the outside left to Gishwiller towards the top of the three-point circle. Guarded by Cranston on the outside right to Cambier. Bounce pass inside to Albright. He's double-teamed. Bounce pass down low. Turning, missing Harkness. Misses a shot. Ball is loose on the floor. Picked up by Faith Christian. Up and in is Harkness. I mean, they have dominated the Bee Diggers here in the first half on the boards. Brush 22, Faith Christian 19, with 28 seconds to go before the break. That's where the Bee Diggers have got to improve, is with the rebounding. They're certainly getting beat. I don't think the numbers will reflect it that badly. Garcia with the basketball to his right. Cross court to Cranston. 15 seconds to go. Cranston motioning the offense, dribbling to his right. Now retreating towards the timeline. Back out to Dunker. Dunker with 8 seconds to go with 7, with 6 at the top. Gets the pick from Rosenbrock with 5. Gets the defender in the air, puts it up, and he misses. But he's fouled with 3.4 seconds to go on the miss. Jeffrey Dunker to the stripe. And the foul was committed by Grant Harkness. That'll be his second. All the Bee Diggers got to do, play some defense. Even if you miss a free throw here, hopefully that won't be the case. But
well, and expect Faith Christian to release one player. I expect him to try and get one off here.
Dunker to shoot 2. For the best prices and special offers on top quality car parts and accessories, visit Central Auto Parts, 1001 West Platte Avenue in Fort Morgan. Free throw is back rimmed. Bee Diggers 2 out of 4 from the line, and Faith Christian is 1 out of 3, though. Dunker spins, shoots, and connects. 1 out of 2.
And this is a smart move by Coach Garcia. You're not going to give Faith Christian a chance by having a sub there to get a fast break play.
Right, exactly. Yeah, great move, bringing in Jake Brown. Albright to throw it in the backcourt to Cambier. He slams into Cranston, puts it up from half court and off to the left. And that's the end of the opening half with a score. Brush 23, Faith Christian 19 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran, Jen Goodall back from Moby Arena in Fort Collins in this 3A state quarterfinal with a winner to take on the winner of today's 4 o'clock game between Ken Denver and Sterling, and the Beat Diggers leading Faith Christian 23-19. One of the big differences in this game so far, Jen, quite frankly, is shooting. Beat Diggers at 37.5% and Faith Christian at 45%. Faith Christian's gotten some second chance points that the Beat Diggers have got to do a better job of in terms of the rebounding so they don't get those second chance points, and that was one of the illustrations that we saw in the opening half, especially with their big sophomore there grabbing 5 rebounds.
Well, and I'm looking at the height of all of those kids, and they are 6 foot and above. They have one kid, which is number 12, Noon, who's 5'11". Everybody else is 6 foot or above.
Right, but Grant Harkness at 6'4", and then Miles Finch at 6'5",
right.
So the Beat Diggers are going to have to do a better job of handling that pressure down low.
They're going to have to block out everybody. They're not going to be able to just leave one person, because that one person is usually the one that gets the ball on the rebound.
All right, so the Beat Diggers are holding a 23-19 lead. It says here both teams with 9 turnovers. I've got Faith Christian with 1 more, so pretty much up to par with what I've got here. Rush has led throughout the entire first half. Their largest lead was 6 at 12-6, but there was a play early on. They were up 9-4 and had a layup, and the ball was thrown over the hands of Mitch Tormole, and it went out of bounds. It would have made it 11-4, and I know that's just one play, but every play is magnified in a game like this, Jen.
It is, and the thing that I saw Faith Christian trying to do on the offensive end was do a little high-low and then send a cutter through from the top. Whoever passes the ball cuts down to the short corner to try and overload one side and get the defense to shift when we're in our 2-3 zone. So that has to be talked through the defense, and it also has to maybe make an adjustment as to how high up, as we've gotten sucked up high in the lane, that we got to stay home. We got to stay low and make sure that we are containing that person.
This is the third of 8 games to be played today, the second of 4 boys quarterfinal games. As coming up here at 1:15, the Centauri girls will take on Bishop Matchbuff. Then the next game will not be until 4 o'clock. Ken Denver against Sterling on the boys' side at 5:30. Ken Denver girls against St. Mary's at 7 o'clock. It'll be the Eaton boys against Holy Family. Then the final game today at 8:30 p.m., Holy Family girls against Trinidad. Second half to get underway momentarily. Accidents or illness can strike at any time, day or night, when they do. Every second counts. As the Level 3 Trauma Center, Colorado Plains Medical Center is ready to handle any kind of emergency. Colorado Plains Medical Center, bringing quality care to the community. The Beat Diggers will break the huddle with Mitch Tormolin, Jeffrey Dunker, Bryce Needens, Randy Baker, and Jake Brown. Alex Albright, Rory Gishwiller, along with Spencer Baz, Miles Finch, and Liam Noon for Faith Christian. Rush basketball with a 23-19 lead. 16 minutes of basketball remaining. And Bryce Needens just beyond midcourt to throw it in. In the backcourt to Dunker. Dunker will set it up for the Beat Diggers offensively. On the outside left against Albright. Back on the high right to Mitch Tormolin. Tormolin with the basketball to Brown in the left corner. Baker penetrates left baseline. Had lost the ball, got it back, scoops it up, missed the shot. Ball is tipped towards Tormolin. He gets it back, and then he throws it away. Beat Diggers turn it over for a 10th time in the game. Boy, those opportunities. I mean, they're right there, and they just cannot finish.
Those are point-blank shots.
Yeah, they've got to come up with a run to extend themselves and make it a little bit easier. Into the front court, Noon with the basketball. On the outside left to Gishwiller. Gishwiller against Dunker, near the top to Noon. Noon with the basketball at the top on the high left. Gishwiller, he won't take that three. Dunker right there. Over to Noon to his right. Picks up the dribble. On the outside right, Baz fakes the three. Dribbles right into the lane, steps in. The shot is up and in by Spencer Baz. He just floated it up there. 23-21 Brush. 7:08 to go, third quarter. Dunker on the right baseline with the basketball. Back out to Brown. Brown near the top to Baker. Baker on the high right to Needens. Needens will take the shot. Good! That is a triple for Bryce Needens! The Bead Diggers now lead 26-21. Jen, every time the Bead Diggers need a shot, they come through, but they've got to do it on the defensive end.
Well, and they're staying in their 2-3 zone, which has worked well for them. They just need to make a couple adjustments here down low.
With the basketball, it's Gishwiller in the lane. Jump pass down low for Baz. Baz fakes and scores. Baz now with 9 on the fadeaway. Brush 26, Faith Christian 23. 6.5 to go, third quarter. Dunker into the front court at the top of the basketball. Right of the lane, between his legs. On the outside left, Needens, another three. In and out. Oh, that was halfway down. Then Baker commits the foul in the backcourt as Miles Finch grabbed the rebound for Faith Christian.
And that was a good-looking shot. I don't think there was anything wrong. I don't think that was too quick. He got his feet set. That was a good release.
Well, it will be Faith Christian basketball down by 3. 6:19 to go, third quarter. The Bead Diggers have led the entire game, but Faith Christian has been in the game the whole time. Liam Noon guarded by Dunker between his legs. Bounce pass on the outside right to Albright. Down low for Miles Finch. He fades from the right baseline, no good. And Jeffrey Dunker has the rebound for the Bead Diggers, his third. Dunker looking up court across the timeline on the outside left to Tormolen. Dribbles to his right. Back out to Needens. Needens gets a pick from Dunker. Needens picks up the dribble near the top to Brown. Brown looking to his right. Brown dribbles to his right. Back out over to Baker. Baker with the basketball. Baker on the high right, dribbles to his left at the free throw line. Maintains the dribble, jump pass down low for Dunker. Up and under off the glass, and he missed it. Rebound controlled by Miles Finch. And then Dunker commits the foul in the backcourt, and the Bead Diggers are getting a little bit sloppy as Dunker commits unofficially a second foul.
Well, and the plays are there. I mean, that was a great job. Randy, as we know, is a slasher. He loves to drive, dribble drive, whatever he's doing, going through the lane. And Jeffrey made a nice backdoor cut. The pass was there. It was a nice play, just missed the shot and got frustrated. 5.5 to go, third quarter. Brush 26, Faith Christian 23. The Eagles can tie it with a 3. Into the front court is Noon with a basketball, picked up by Dunker. Bounce pass on the outside left to Gishwiller. Down low to Baz, off the glass, and he misses, but he's fouled, and Spencer Baz is taking over the game right now for Faith Christian. He will shoot 2, and the Bead Diggers have committed 3 fouls here in the third quarter as Bryce Needens picks up his third personal. Well, the thing with
Check it his second.
The thing with Baz is that he is making some adjustments of his own. One of the adjustments that they've made is instead of the top person cutting through the lane on the high-low play that they're running against our zone, they're now having the wing cut low and shoot high.
First free throw is in and out. Second free throw coming up for Baz is in the air, and that is in. And it's now a 2-point game. Brush 26, Faith Christian 24. 5:15 remaining third quarter. Dunker into the front court on the outside right with the basketball. In the right corner for Tormolen, dribbling to his left, picks up the dribble. Back near the top to Brown, outside left to Dunker. Dunker left to the lane, in the lane, he hooks it up and in! Oh, what a move by Dunker on the floater, he's got 10. Long pass by Albright, left baseline, in the lane. Albright looked like he walked, no call. Now to Baz down low, nearly tied up by Baker. Fade shoots, and the ball's taken away by Dunker on the miss. Dunker with the basketball on the outside right into the front court. Looked like he was fouled from behind. There's the call. I mean, clearly, Faith Christian didn't want that call, but there was contact, and Miles Finch does commit his first. Bead Digger basketball, 28-24, 4:44 to go third quarter. Austin Garcia, Trey Cranston, and Kyle Rosenbrock are in for Jake Brown. Let's see, Jeffrey Dunker and Randy Baker. Big possession for the Bead Diggers as Needens will throw it in. Needens to the left of the basket. Looking to inbound it. Lobs it on the outside right to Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock on the high right to Needens. Needens will take a long 3, and that's off the back of the rim. And the rebound is taken away over there by Gishwiller. Quickly into the front court, Faith Christian. Back out to Albright. Albright to Baz. Now the Gishwiller 3 in the air is around and no good. And Kyle Rosenbrock has the rebound for the Bead Diggers. Rosenbrock to Tormon in the backcourt. Back out to Needens. Needens with the basketball on the outside left in the left corner for Cranston. Cranston looking to his right. Jump pass towards Needens. A dangerous pass taken away by Needens behind his back. Needens guarded closely at the free throw line. Jump pass in the right corner for Cranston. Cranston to his left. Cranston wants to shoot. Jump pass is tipped away out of bounds, intended for Rosenbrock. Knocked out of bounds by Baz with 4:05 to go third quarter. Boy, this Faith Christian defense is almost as good as Brush's. In fact, they've They've shown they can certainly rebound and cut off some lanes. Rosenbrock to throw it in. Rosenbrock to Garcia on the left baseline. He was fouled.
Yeah.
Got to call that one. Might have been Alex Albright.
Well, and the crowd doesn't like it, but what they don't see is there's a hand on the back. They only see the clean tip away with the front hand.
Second foul on Albright, and to throw it in will be Bryce Needens. Now check that. Lobbing it near the top towards Cranston, and another foul committed over there as it was thrown underneath the basket. That foul was committed by Liam Noon. That's his first.
Well, and that's a great job by Trey Cranston going to the ball so that foul happens.
Yeah, but now Noon is out, and Christian Cambier is in with 4:03 to go. That was 2 fouls in less than a second. And three-quarters court, Austin Garcia to throw it in. Near the timeline to Cranston. Cranston against Albright, dribbling to his right. Cranston picks up the dribble. Back out on the outside left to Garcia. Garcia between his legs on the high left with the basketball. Left to the lane and then traveled. Yep, lost his balance. He thought he was fouled. And for the B-Diggers, that's their 11th turnover of the game. Faith Christian has yet to commit one here in the third quarter with 3:49 to go. Rush 28, Faith Christian 24. Just across the timeline is Cambier. On the outside left to Gishwiller. Gets a pick. Gishwiller can't take the three. Bounce pass inside to Harkness, nearly tied up. Ooh. And then a B-Digger foul. Boy, almost a tie-up, but the B-Diggers did commit the foul. And that was on Needens. That's his third. Let's see if the B-Diggers make a substitution anytime soon as Gishwiller to throw it in. With 3:38 to go in the third. Brush 28, Faith Christian 24. Gishwiller to throw it in for Faith Christian. Looking, still looking. Bounce pass down low. The hook is up and missed by Albright. The ball is loose, but it's picked up in the lane by Baz, and it's jump pass down low off of Harkness' hands. Can he save it? And he cannot. Faith Christian turns it over. B-Digger basketball. Let me tell you, whoever advances here is a threat to win their next game, obviously, but I'm talking even against Ken Denver, the top seed, because these defenses are smothering.
They are, very much so.
Bryce Needens to call out the play with 3:23 to go in the third. Brush by 4. Cranston on the outside left with the basketball. Bounce pass near the top towards Mullen. Knocked away. Tormolin chases it down. On the high left to Cranston. Cranston against Albright. Crossover dribble. On the outside right to Garcia. Holding the ball up high. Gets a pick from Tormolin. Right of the lane. Back out Needens. He'll put up a three. Good! That's another big one for Bryce Needens. And the B-Diggers now lead by 7. 31-24. Baz in the right corner. Back out to Harkness. Near the top to Cambier. Cambier with a basketball against Trey Cranston, dribbling to his left. Outside left to Gishwiller. He traveled. Yeah, that's an excellent call. Turnover number 12 for Faith Christian. Now, Jen, is when the B-Diggers can take control of the game, even with 10 minutes and 51 seconds of basketball to play.
Well, and what they've been doing the last couple minutes here is they've been using their 4-out, 1-in play, where they're just making the defense come on out and play them, spreading them out a little bit, passing the ball, making the defense shift, and then waiting for that opportunity, which they got with the dribble drive from Austin and Bryce. You
don't have to close on your house alone. Northern Colorado Title at 130 West Kiowa in Fort Morgan will provide you with a stress-free closing. Northern Colorado Title. Garcia with the basketball for Brush in the backcourt. Met by Cambier into the front court. Picks up the dribble on the outside right to Tormolin. Tormolin holds the ball up high. Outside left to Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock just holding that basketball. Dribbling to his right. Being patient. Back on the high left to Garcia. He'll pull up for a long shot, and that's off the front of the rim. And the ball is rebounded, though, by Bryce Needens. And the B-Diggers reset with 2:22 to go. Then Garcia is stripped. He'll chase the ball down in the backcourt. Garcia on the outside right over to Tormolin. Tormolin to his left, spins. Back out to Garcia. Garcia gets a pick. That looked like he was fouled. No whistle. Garcia on the outside right to Needens. He'll fake a three. And Needens picks up his dribble. He'll put up a three. And that's off the front of the rim. And the long rebound is grabbed by Spencer Baz. And, yeah, Bryce was not in rhythm there.
No.
Outside right, Noon with a basketball. We've got 1:52 to go, third quarter. Brush 31, Faith Christian 24. Faith Christian needs a bucket here. Spencer Baz on the high left with the basketball. At the top for Alex Albright. On the outside right, here's Cambier. Near the top, Noon. He'll take a three. And it's in and out. And Mitch Tormolin has the rebound for Brush on the outlet pass to Cranston. Cranston across the timeline for the B-Diggers on the outside right. Cranston to Needens, right baseline, and the ball was knocked out of bounds. B-Diggers will retain possession. Into the game are Ben Mickey, Jake Brown, and Jeffrey Dunker. They'll replace Mitch Tormolin, Austin Garcia, and Kyle Rosenbrock. And it looks like a substitution is upcoming. Rory Gishwiller for Faith Christian. He will supplant Christian Cambier, and Bryce Needens to throw it in with 1:29 to go in the third. A bucket could give the Beat Diggers a 9-point lead or perhaps 10. Needens down low in the lane for Mickey. Lost it, got it back, puts it up off to the right. Rebound taken away by Rory Gishwiller of Faith Christian. Across the timeline in the right corner to Baz. Back out to Gishwiller on the outside left to Noon. Noon bounce pass left baseline to Harkness underneath the basket. He was fouled. That will be the 15th foul against the Beat Diggers and the third personal on Jeffrey Dunker. And Randy Baker checks in, and he's in for Dunker, who was in there for a cinnamon roll. If even that, it was pretty quick, but he did commit his third foul, and he's very important to the Beat Diggers, so he'll sit the remainder of the quarter, and Gishwiller to throw it in. Gishwiller looking down low, can't find anybody. Left baseline, Albright misses the shot. Baker goes for the rebound. The ball is loose. Baker has it. Outlet to Cranston. Long baseball pass to Needens. Needens is going to go all the way, lay it up and in! Off the glass for Bryce Needens. Oh, utilizing the full court game. Brush 33, Faith Christian 24. Here is Alex Albright. Back out on the outside right. In the lane is Hawkins. Back out to Albright. Right of the lane, spinning on Brown. And we got a whistle to foul. That's going to be the 16th foul against the Beat Diggers with 49.2 seconds to go. That means free throws. Randy Baker.
That was away from the ball then.
Commits his third. Yeah, the Beat Diggers going to have to be disciplined in the fourth quarter. Baker is out. Austin Garcia back in. And to throw it in will be Rory Gishwiller. His Faith Christian team is not this one, but the school of the 5-time defending 3A champions. Gishwiller to throw it in. Andrew Lanier into the game for the Eagles. Looking down low, still looking. Beat Diggers cutting off that lane. Lobs it near the top to Harkness. Back out to Hawkins. On the outside right with a basketball. Gishwiller dribbles at the free throw line, cut off with the outside right to Baz. Baz against Mickey. Crossover dribble right of the lane. In the lane, leans, shoots, misses off the back of the rim, but it's up and in by Harkness, who had position. Harkness scores. The Beat Digger lead is down to 7, 33-26. With 26 seconds to go, head coach Ken Garcia is calling for the final shot. Branson just across the timeline with the basketball. 19 seconds to go. Branson in the lane. Bounce pass to Mickey. Mickey in the lane. Back out to Brown. He'll put up a three, and that's well off to the right, not even close. Harkness with a rebound. Still a lot of time for Faith Christian as they're across midcourt with 7, with 6. Lanier on the outside right with 5. Back out to Hawkins, right of the lane. Down low for Baz. He lays it up and in, and the Beat Diggers fell asleep. And that's the end of the third quarter with the score. Brush 33, Faith Christian 28 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. The Beat Diggers outscored the Eagles 10-9 in the third quarter. Brush 33, Faith Christian 28. John Beltran with Jen Goodall, Randy Baker, Jeffrey Dunker, Bryce Needens, Kyle Rosenbrock, and Mitch Tormolen, Alex Albright, David Hawkins, Grant Harkness, Christian Cambier, and the inbounds passer Rory Gishwiller for Faith Christian. Gishwiller to throw it in the backcourt to Cambier. The Faith Christian fans getting fired up. They're on a 4-0 run entering the fourth quarter. Gishwiller dribbling against Dunker. Fell down, tries to maintain the dribble, then throws it towards the backcourt. Rosenbrock had it initially. The ball is loose on the floor, and there's going to be a tie-up. That's a quick, a timeout by Faith Christian as Alex Albright did have possession. So they take a 30-second timeout, 14 seconds into the fourth, and that was the right call because it would have been a very quick call with a tie-up. I didn't see a tie-up at that point, so the Eagles do retain possession of the basketball as we'll keep it right here. Stop, shop, and save with all of your grocery needs and snacks for game time enjoyment. The Brush Grocery Card, 1302 West Edison Street in Brush. And Brush's local Napa and Hardware Hanks and Small Engine Repair Shop, Hometown Auto and Hardware, 1305 Edison Street in Brush. Stop by and let them help you at Hometown Auto and Hardware. Yeah, those last 4 points, those are momentum turners. That's why the Beat Diggers have got to come out very strong here to begin the fourth, as they do have a 5-point lead, but it was a 9-point lead and looking a little bit more secure, obviously, in the last minute of that third quarter.
Well, and I think Randy Baker must have gotten cut on his nose when he got popped on that last foul because he's got tape trying to cross it and keep it from bleeding all over the place.
Well, he won't mind if the Beat Diggers win this game.
Nope, he's pretty tough.
But the Beat Diggers had a full 3-possession lead, now down to a 2-possession lead, and we mentioned that at this point of the game because it's only 33-28. That's how good these defenses have been. Cambier to throw it in. Diggers still hurting on the boards a little bit better in that third quarter. Inbounds pass to Gishwiller in the backcourt. Led by Dunker on the outside right with the basketball. It's Hawkins dribbling right baseline. Looked like he traveled, no call. Here's Albright in the lane, and he wants to lean and shoot. Bounce pass down low is intercepted by Dunker. On the jump pass, here is Randy Baker with the basketball in the front court. Baker all the way, scoops it above the glass, no good, and a blocking foul. Randy Baker to the line. And that blocking foul was committed by Christian Cambier. That's his first. And Baker to shoot two. And the Diggers again using their defense to create offense.
They did. And, as Jeffrey was falling over a Faith Christian player, he was able to get the pass, knew exactly where Randy Baker was. So you know that these boys have played together for a long time.
And the free throw by Baker is missed. Boy, that's just, those things hurt. You got to make those free throws. And the Diggers have struggled this year for the line. And in tight games, that could cost you. Second free throw coming up for Randy Baker. That's up, and that's pretty. That's good. Rush 34, Faith Christian 28. A full two-possession lead with 7:23 to go in the game. Into the front court with the basketball is Gishwiller against Dunker. Looking to his left. On the outside left to Baz. Baz against Baker. Dribbles to his right at the top of the basketball. On the high right is Hawkins, guarded by Needham. Back out to Gishwiller. Down low to Miles Finch in the right baseline. Double team. Over to Gishwiller in the lane. Jump pass to Albright. Puts up a 7-footer. No good on the left baseline. Mitch Tormolen has the rebound. Dribbles out of traffic. Now here's a big possession for Brush. They can take a 3-possession lead as we are under 7 minutes to go in the 3A state quarterfinal for Moby Arena and Fort Collins. Rosenbrock with a basketball, dribbling to his left, dribbling towards the right baseline in the right corner for Tormolen. Back out to Needhams. Needhams looking in the right corner for Tormolen. Tormolen back to his left, picks up his dribble, looking in the right corner for Rosenbrock. Diggers are being very patient on this possession. Rosenbrock right to the lane. He backs up, feeds it back out to Dunker, gets the pick. Dunker towards that right corner, hands it off to Tormolen, straight away to Rosenbrock. Down low for Baker. He's fouled from behind by Rory Gishwiller. And for Gishwiller, should be his third foul, or his second foul, check that. And here comes Grant Harkness into the game. He's been a monster on the boards. Bryce Needhams to throw it in. 6:27 to go in the game. Brush 34, Faith Christian 28. Needhams underneath the Faith Christian basket. Looking down low, still looking. Bounce pass in the right corner. Rosenbrock back out to Needhams. In the lane, lean, shoots, and he misses the shot. And the rebound is controlled by Finch, and he'll go to the line as the Diggers commit their 17th foul, and that's one of the issues right now. Foul was committed by Bryce Needhams. That's his fourth. Well, there's going to be issues now if Faith Christian can start hitting free throws, but Miles Finch with a 1-and-1. We still have 6:22 to go in the game. Free throw by Finch is in the air. That's in. Rush 34, Faith Christian 29. Stubbs Gas and Oil, I-76 and Highway 39 in Wiggins. Don't delay and get there to see why Convenience is Stubbs' middle name. Second free throw. It's around and no good. Rosenbrock with a rebound. That's his sixth. Into the front court is Rosenbrock with the basketball. Back out to Dunker. Dunker straight away. He'll take the three off the front of the rim, and Harkness grabs the rebound for Faith Christian. Then he threw it away.
Stolen by Kyle Rosenbrock.
Rosenbrock to Dunker. He puts it up and in off the glass. Oh, the Diggers convert on a huge turnover there by Faith Christian. Dunker now with 12. Brush 36, Faith Christian 29. 5:57 to go in the game. Finch at the top of the basketball against Tormolen on the outside right to Hawkins. Gets a pick, dribbles towards the right baseline, underneath the basket, then is fouled from behind. Tormolen got all ball, but they're going to call the foul anyway. And to the line is David Hawkins.
Well, and I think they're going to get him with the body.
For Tormolen, that's his second. Hawkins to the stripe to shoot two. Free throw is up and in and out. Well, that helps.
That does help.
Moffat County was 26 of 31. And they stayed in the game against Brush. Austin Garcia and Trey Cranston are back in for Bryce Needhams and Randy Baker. It'll still be a two-possession game, even if Hawkins, well, it's a three-possession now, but if he makes the free throw, it's down to a two-possession game. Second free throw is up, and that's good. Brush 36, Faith Christian 30. 5:47 to go in this 3A state quarterfinal. Dunker with a basketball into the front court, crossover dribble. On the outside right to Cranston. The Faith Christian faithful chanting defense. Cranston looking, bounce pass in the right corner for Tormolin. Holds the ball on his left hip, dribbles to his left. Backs it out to Rosenbrock. On the outside left to Cranston. Cranston back out to Dunker. Dunker retreating, picks up the dribble, feeds it on the high right to Mitch Tormolin, who dribbles back to his left. Over to Cranston. Cranston with 5:17 to go, just beyond the timeline. Bounce pass to the high right to Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock was nearly knocked out of bounds. Jump pass to Cranston. Cranston looking down low for Dunker. Dunker right of the lane. Back out to Cranston. Cranston fakes the 3 steps in. 15-footer is off to the left, and the ball is tipped around again. Another rebound there. Is there a tie-up? And there is Brush basketball.
Great job, Mitch Tormolin.
As Harkness grabbed the rebound, and the Beat Diggers have the ball back with 5:01 to go, leading by 6. Oh, that was huge. Now Garcia to throw it in. A basket would be even more huge. Garcia looking. Oh, feeds it inside. That was a terrible pass. Intercepted over there by Hawkins. Stripped by Rosenbrock, but Hawkins has it right back. The Beat Diggers commit their 12th turnover. Then the ball is thrown away, and Rosenbrock was pushed. That'll be the 16th foul against Faith Christian. Oh, defense is going to win you games like this. And the Beat Diggers came up with a huge defensive play.
Well, and as we've said before, the whole Rosenbrock clan from Joe, Darla, and Kyle, they are all hustlers. They all get down and dirty when it comes to sports.
Alex Albright with his 3rd foul. That's the 15th turnover unofficially for Faith Christian. Andrew Lanier is into the game for the Eagles with 4:53 to go. And the Beat Diggers up 36-30. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East at 1209 Main Street in Fort Morgan will professionally fit you into the car, truck of your choice. Serving all of Northeast Colorado, Ehrlich Toyota East. Timeout, 30-second timeout by the Beat Diggers. Brought to you by Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance. Let the State Farm Insurance office of Greg Mullen and Brush help you find the best policy to fit your life. Home, auto, life, and health. State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call. 842-4555 with 4:53 to go from Moby Arena in Fort Collins in the 3A quarterfinals. Brush 36, Faith Christian 30. The pressure's all on the Beat Diggers at this point. They're the higher seed. They've led throughout the entire game, but they've got the ball in a 2-possession lead, and they've committed just 3 turnovers here in this half, so they have elevated their level of play from the opening half, at least on the offensive end, with taking care of the basketball.
Well, and I think what Coach Garcia is going to tell them is keep your poise. Don't do silly things. Play basic, hard-nosed, Brush Beat Digger basketball.
Garcia, Rosenbrock, Dunker, Cranston, and Tormolin for Brush. Lanier, Baz, Gishwiller, Cambier, and Alex Albright for Faith Christian. In the backcourt, Rosenbrock to throw it in. Still looking, lobs it over to Garcia. Ball tipped away. Garcia is able to chase it down as Gishwiller right on top of him. Garcia across the timeline, and there is a foul on Gishwiller. Now can you hit free throws? Because that's the 17th foul. Gishwiller commits his 3rd. Got to nail the free throws now with 4:46 to go. This is what the game is coming down to.
Well, and that was a smart play by Austin just to kind of get his wheels going and turning, so because he's been kind of being held the whole time. Jeffrey has been as well, so to get that foul is good.
This is 10-10 KSRR, Brush, Fort Morgan, Greeley. I'm John Beltran with Jen Goodall. Austin Garcia with a free throw. It's a 1-and-1. That is up, and that is off to the right. And Miles Finch grabs the rebound, and that's the issue. Can the Beat Diggers hit free throws? If not, they got to play incredible defense here. Cambier has the ball stripped by Dunker. Didn't see him. Dunker's going to go all the way, lay it up, and in! Holy mahungus! A huge turnover as the Beat Diggers convert. Dunker read it beautifully. He's got 14 in the game. Rush 38, Faith Christian 30, 4:23 to go. Finch bounce passes, intercepted by Rosenbrock. That's 5 turnovers in the quarter. Tormolin to Cranston. Cranston still in the backcourt behind his back across the timeline. Cranston with the basketball. Beat Diggers are going to take the air out of the basketball with 4:08 to go in the game, leading 38-30. Cranston retreats towards midcourt. He can just dribble until he's defended.
Right.
Bounce pass on the outside right to Rosenbrock. Down low for Dunker. Dunker fades, shoots, misses, and the rebound to Christian Cambier. That shot was a little bit rushed. Across the timeline, Gishwiller with the basketball. Left of the lane, jump pass down low, tipped away, but taken by Baz on the right baseline. Baz right of the lane, hop step, fade, shoots, and it scores. Spencer Baz with a strong move. He had 7 in the 3rd quarter. This is his first bucket here in the 4th. Baz now with 14 in the game. Brush 38, Faith Christian 32. 3:32 to go from Moby Arena in Fort Collins. Garcia back out to Tormolin. On the outside left to Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock looking down low, dribbles to his right, bounce pass to Cranston straight away. Cranston jump pass to Tormolin, back out to Garcia. Garcia towards the top, maintains the dribble. Garcia still looking, feeds it on the outside right to Tormolin. Tormolin to his left, bounce pass over to Rosenbrock, and he was fouled. Fouled by Spencer Baz. And for Baz, that's his first foul. And to the line is Kyle Rosenbrock. That's the 18th foul. Randy Baker back in for Brush, and Liam Noon for Faith Christian. The Bee Diggers are 1 out of 3 from the line in the quarter. In the game, they're at 50%, 4 out of 8. It's awfully lonely at the free throw line, but you can make it a 3-possession game with 3:09 to go. Rosenbrock's free throw is up and good. Smooth for Kyle Rosenbrock.
We need those badly.
And the lead is 7 for Brush, 39-32. Second free throw upcoming for the Bee Diggers sophomores. The Bee Diggers are looking to advance to the semifinals. That is up and around and good for Rosenbrock, and the Bee Diggers have an 8-point lead. Their biggest has been 9. Faith Christian has not led in the game. It's amazing when you haven't led and you've been in the game the entire way.
It is, and it's got to wear on them emotionally a little bit just because you're having to fight and claw and dig the whole time.
Into the front court, Noon on the outside right to Gishwiller, looking down low for Baz, feeds it at the top for Harkness. In the left corner, Noon, bounce pass down low for Albright. Albright in the lane straight away for Baz. Left corner, the three is up and an air ball. That's missed by Noon. Dunker comes away with a basketball for Brush. Here come the Bee Diggers the other way. Bryce Needham's on the right baseline. There was contact, no whistle. Jump pass to Rosenbrock. Over to Tormolin. You know he's not going to take a three. That's not his game. Over to Rosenbrock, back out to Needhams. 2:35 to go. Jump pass to Baker. Brush 40. Faith Christian 32. Dunker with a basketball. Back out to Baker. Bee Diggers got to move here offensively. And over to Tormolin. Tormolin nearly fouled by Harkness. Picks up the dribble. Hands it off to Dunker. Dunker dribbling to his left. And he was fouled from behind by Grant Harkness. That will be the 9th team foul. And for Harkness' third personal, Jeffrey Dunker to the stripe. I've shot a few highlights, but none of Dunker's. I have the camera on him at the wrong time because he's had a tremendous offensive game with 14 points. Now, can you make it a 9-point game? Dunker bends, shoots. That's going to be an air ball. Wow. Faith Christian basketball. And they got plenty of time, 2:20 to go. I mean, one bucket, you're down by perhaps 5. Christian Cambier into the game. That could have been a 4-possession lead with 2 made free throws, but instead it's Brush 40, Faith Christian 32. Keeping community banking simple and committed to their community. Morgan Federal Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Right corner, Cambier. He'll take the three. Good. Big one for Christian Cambier. Timeout, Faith Christian. 30-second timeout. That's a big turnaround there. With 2:10 to go, Brush 40. Faith Christian 35. Now keep in mind, Faith Christian has committed 19 fouls, so the luxury is that Brush would be in the double bonus.
But if we can't convert on those, that's not going to help us a whole lot, and it's going to stop the clock for Faith Christian.
So the Eagles draw to within 5. And right now, you cannot be playing not to win.
Right. You got to go full out, full throttle, gas pedal all the way forward.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got a layup, go for it.
Yep.
Don't play for the foul.
You're going to make them, you always want to say, make the basket anyway. Even if you're hit, make the basket anyway. Faith
Christian is the 5-time defending 3A state champions. They have a mentality of a team that obviously hasn't gone away and that expects to win this game. But Randy Baker throws it in for Brush underneath their own basket. Baker with a shiner there, looking in the backcourt, feeds Dunker. Dunker against Andrew Lanier. Dunker, Rosenbrock, Needhams, Tormolin, and Randy Baker. Baker on the left baseline with a basketball, and then he was fouled from behind by Liam Noon with 2:01 to go. And for Noon, that's his second personal. And Randy Baker to the stripe. The Bee Diggers in the quarter are 3 out of 6 for the line. Baker's free throw is up and off the front of the rim. Either way, Faith Christian could make this a 1-possession game. Hopefully with a 3, which means Baker would have to make this free throw. Baker bends, shoots, and he makes that one.
All right, and Coach Garcia is going to do a little defensive-offensive subbing here. So we got Jake Brown, who is very quick, can play good defense, and you got Bryce, who's mostly known for offense.
Rush 41, Faith Christian 35. A minute 56 to go from Moby Arena. Oh, that ball was nearly carried over there by Gishwiller with a basketball on the outside left against Dunker. Dribbles to his right. Jump pass down low for Baz. Tormolen knocked away, but he was out of bounds.
Now, that's something they got to be careful of. Faith Christian has been doing that all game, where they dribble drive and someone makes a little backdoor cut, so when they get double teamed, they got the little dish off. We've got to make sure we're talking that on defense.
Gambier to throw it in with a minute 49 remaining. The lob into Albright, left of the lane. Back out to Gishwiller, outside right to Cambier, guarded by Needens. Pulls up for a three. He's fouled on the three. You got to be kidding me. Holy Mahunga's fouled, and he is fouled by Needens. And Needens is gone. Or is that his fourth? He's walking over towards the bench. No, that's his, just his fourth. But 3 free throws, and the first is up and in by Cambier. That is a brutal mistake with a minute 43 to go, but the Beat Diggers will have the lead regardless of what happens with Cambier here with these free throws. Second free throws up. That's good. Wow. Andrew Lanier back in. For Grant Harkness out there with Alex Albright, the free throw shooter Cambier, Rory Gishwiller, and Spencer Baz. Third free throw coming up to make it a 3-point game, and that is up, and that is off the back of the rim. Albright going for the rebound. Possession arrow is going to stay with Faith Christian. Albright and Tormolen go to the ground along with a couple of other Beat Diggers, so they can make this a 1-point game with a 3 with a minute 42 to go. Lanier is out. Harkness is back in. This was an 8-point game moments ago. And we got a timeout brought to you by Greg Mullen at State Farm Insurance, called by the Beat Diggers. Home Auto, Life and Health. The State Farm agent, Greg Mullen. 842-4555. State Farm Insurance Office of Greg Mullen and Brush with a minute 42 to go. Brush 41, Faith Christian 37. And now the Eagles have the basketball. A bucket draws to them to within 2 or 1. They'll have it underneath.
The Beat Diggers just got to play solid defense, and then if a shot is taken, they've got to box out and make sure that they secure that rebound.
Yeah, they're getting beat on the boards. Faith Christian, especially with Grant Harkness and Miles Finch, have been very good. Harkness, Baz, Cambier, Gishwiller, and Albright for Faith Christian. Tormolen, Rosenbrock, Needens, Dunker, and Baker for Brush. Cambier to throw it in. Needens in there with 4 fouls. Looking down low, lobs it near the top to Gishwiller. Gishwiller on the outside left against Dunker. Dunker defending tightly. Bounce pass to Cambier on the outside left to Gishwiller. Gets a pick, dribbles to the free throw line. Gishwiller lobs it down low, and the shot is blocked by Tormolen. Taken by Albright. He goes back up and misses. And was he fouled? He was. 2 free throws for Alex Albright. The foul was committed by Kyle Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock has committed, I believe, his first. Free throw is up, and Albright misses it off to the right. All right, he can only make it a 3-point game. Well, a 2-point game, excuse me. Sitting at 41-38. Liam Noon into the contest for Christian Cambier. Could have made a 1-point game with 2 made free throws. Albright's second free throw is in the air, and that is in. Rush 41, Faith Christian 39, a minute 28 to go, and pressure to be applied. Rosenbrock to inbound it in the backcourt. A discussion at the scorer's table. Now it says 41-38 on the board. Let's see what we got here. Let's recalculate. 1, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10. It should be 38, not 39. Yeah, that's right. They had 38 before he made the free throw. It is a 3-point game, so yeah, the board had made another mistake. Rosenbrock into the front court, dribbling towards the right corner. Jump pass for Dunker. Dunker in the lane, over to Needens, 15-footer. Good! That's a big one for Bryce Needens. He's got 10 points all in the second half. Brush 43, Faith Christian 38. 1:09 to go. Baz nearly stripped, lost the basketball, and they called a foul. Oh, you got to be kidding me. That certainly looked clean from here.
It also looked like a travel.
And Bryce Needens is fouled out. Trey Cranston will check in. But Jen, the Beat Diggers ran their regular offense, and it paid off on that possession.
It did, and it was a layup. It was a point-blank layup that went in.
43-38. And here is Spencer Baz to shoot two. He needs both to make this a one-possession game with 1:08 to go. He misses one. The Beat Diggers have some security. The free throw's in the air. Good. It rattles in for Spencer Baz, who has 15 points in the game for the Eagles.
Well, I'm sure Coach Garcia told him to be ready for the foul, the hack-and-shoot kind of game.
Well, you got to get the rebound if he misses. We know that's been an issue. Second free throw in the air. That is in. Rush 43, Faith Christian 40. Tormolin to throw it in. Looking. He's got Baker wide open in the backcourt. Baker with the basketball. Got it to get it across the timeline. Baker guarded by Noon. Across the timeline. Into the front court. Picks up the dribble. Baker back out to Cranston. Cranston is fouled by Rory Gishwiller. Again, double bonus on both ends with 56.7 seconds to go. Gishwiller with his fourth.
Now, and anytime you have this kind of play on where you're trying to extend the game a little bit by fouling, we got to make sure that we secure the ball, chin the ball, make sure that they are not going to get an easy pick on that one.
Cranston takes a deep breath, shoots, and misses off to the right and short. Well, this was expected to happen because you don't shoot free throws consistently well throughout the course of the season. You get in a game like this, it's hard to be consistent. You make one, it's a two-possession lead. This is a huge free throw for Cranston. It's up. Good. That's a big one for TC. He's got 5 in the game. Brush 44, Faith Christian 40. Cranston is out. Austin Garcia's in. 56.7 seconds to go. You just need a couple of defensive stops, and you've got this game. And a timeout called by Faith Christian. With 53.8 seconds remaining, and the Beat Diggers leading 44-40. And Jen, what do you rely on the most when it's happened for you all season? Defense at this point.
Yep, you've heard the saying, offense wins games, defense wins championships, and that is a truer statement if ever I heard one, according to the Beat Diggers here.
It's got to happen right now.
And that includes getting the rebound. I mean, you got to have the defensive rebound as well. When they take a shot and they miss it, we got to make sure that we have got possession of the ball.
53.8 seconds to go. Faith Christian will have the basketball as the Beat Diggers have the lead, 44-40. The winner advances to the 3A semifinal coming up tomorrow at 4 o'clock against the winner of today's 4 o'clock game between Kent Denver and Sterling. And what I liked on that last possession the Beat Diggers had when Needens nailed the shot, as we alluded to, they were aggressive. You play to win as opposed to playing not to win, and that's exactly what Brush did. And now you got to be aggressive on defense. And so what if you commit the foul? I mean, you don't want that to happen, but don't let them have an easy layup. Make them earn the points.
Right, and Jeffrey was at layup position, but he knew that he had a better shot with Bryce 15 feet away with an open shot on that.
Dunker, Baker, Rosenbrock, Tormolin, and Garcia. Cambier to throw it in. Out there with Gishwiller, Baz, Albright, and Miles Finch. Gishwiller with a basketball against Dunker, dribbling to his right. Towards the right corner, picks up the dribble, bounce pass, back out to Cambier. Down low for Finch, lost the basketball, loose on the floor, picked up by Dunker, taken away by Garcia. And Garcia's fouled in the backcourt, and that was a mauling. That's the 6th turnover for Faith Christian here in the fourth quarter. And we're going to try and tie him up.
Yeah, they were.
Rory Gishwiller commits the foul, and he is fouled out. He's the second player to foul out in this game. The Beat Diggers had Bryce Needens foul out. Miles Finch is now out. David Hawkins will come into the game. Gishwiller was standing in the lane. That's 5 fouls. Anyway, here comes Austin Garcia. 2 free throws for the sophomore. First free throw's in the air. Bingo! For Austin Garcia. He's got 4 points in the game. Beetdiggers 45, the Eagles 40. 40.8 seconds to go from Moby Arena in this 3A quarterfinals. Second free throw is up, in and out. The rebound is grabbed by Alex Albright. Faith Christian needs a bucket. They're down by 5, 35 seconds to go. Albright into the front court, spinning on Baker, fell down. He throws it out towards Baz. Baz with 29 seconds to go on the outside left against Rosenbrock. Rosenbrock strips the basketball, loose on the floor. Rosenbrock calls a timeout with 24.9 seconds to go. Are they calling a travel?
Because he rolled from his knees to his back with the ball. It's a travel.
Wow. Big break for the Eagles. 24.9 seconds to go. They retain possession of the basketball with Brush leading 45-40. That could have been the game right there.
Well, unfortunately, I mean, it was a right call. He was thinking right. He just didn't stay in the right position.
Jake Brown in for the Beetdiggers. Three-quarters court. Cambier to throw it in. In the backcourt to Albright. Albright against Dunker at the top, behind his back, into the lane. He's cut off over there, straight away to Hawkins. Fakes the three. On the outside right, Cambier, long three, is off the front of the rim, and the rebound is grabbed by the Beetdiggers, and Jake Brown with 14.7 seconds to go. A foul has been committed, and the Beetdiggers will shoot free throws, and that could be it.
And Jake Brown did something really smart right there. As soon as he got the rebound, he found the outlet so that they couldn't foul him below the basket.
Grant Harkness commits his fourth.
Not to mention that also took about 4 seconds off the clock.
Jake Brown with 2 free throws. If he makes both, this is probably over because it would be a 3-possession lead. The first free throw is up, and that one is in and out. Faith Christian still has a shot, although the Beetdiggers have led the entire game. David Hawkins back in there for Faith Christian. Second free throw for Brown is in the air. That's around and off to the right. Grant Harkness with a rebound. Faith Christian the other way with a basketball. Cambier on the front court. Outside left, long three by Hawkins is up and good! With 6.7 seconds to go. Timeout. Faith Christian. Holy mahungus. Brush 45. Faith Christian 43. He misses that shot. The game's over. But now the Beetdiggers will inbound the basketball in the backcourt. And Faith Christian still has time, unfortunately for Brush, to win this thing in regulation. If the Beetdiggers are fouled, or of course a steal, but Beetdiggers just have to inbound the basketball. That was a huge 5-point turnaround. 2 free throws could have clinched it. They were missed. And now you're faced with a situation where you have to get the ball in. 6.7 seconds remaining. Brush 45. Faith Christian 43. Let's see who the Beetdiggers break the huddle with. Jen, that's why they're the 5-time defending 3A champs. But this Beetdigger squad has been great all year.
You know, it always seems like they just keep going. It doesn't really matter what is coming at them. They just keep going. They keep their heads down. They keep their eye on the prize. And they've done that all season.
Garcia, Baker, Rosenbrock, Tormolin, and Dunker for Brush. Lanier, Baz, Cambier, Albright, and Hawkins for Faith Christian. Backcourt pressure will be applied. Rosenbrock to throw it in. This is the biggest pass of the season. Rosenbrock looking. In the backcourt, bounce pass to Dunker. He's fouled by Lanier. And Dunker just threw up an air ball moments ago.
Well, and that was a good job by Kyle Rosenbrock selling that they were going to throw that long ball to Austin Garcia, and then just taking the easy entry pass in so they can get a few seconds off that clock.
At the very least, you've got to make one, and Faith Christian can only tie the game. At the very least. You cannot miss 2 here. Dunker with 5.2 to go. Free throw is up. Good! By Jeffrey Dunker. Second free throw upcoming. This is for the win. The Beetdiggers would just back off. Don't even foul him on it, or don't contest a 3-point shot. If Dunker makes this, the game is essentially over. Second free throw is up. Good for Jeffrey Dunker! 47-43. Alex Albright will inbound it. Beetdiggers should not contest anything. Into Hawkins, long three in the air, and that is in and out, and the game is over! The Brush Beetdiggers have snapped Faith Christian's 16-game winning streak at Moby Arena, and they qualify for the 3A semifinals. Brush 47, Faith Christian 43. A 3-minute break on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com. John Beltran with Jen Goodall. Welcome to the Beat Digger postgame show brought to you by Buildings by Design. Buildings by Design in Brush takes pride in their workmanship and quality of their relationships with clients. For a free bid, call Pat Walter, 842-5837. Building today's business, Buildings by Design. The Beat Diggers survive against Faith Christian. They led the entire way, but it was close the whole way. Brush wins 47-43 as the Diggers were up 10-6 after one. At the break, it was 23-19 as both teams scored 13 in the second quarter. Brush outscored Faith 10-9 in the third for a 5-point lead, and then the Beat Diggers were outscored 15-14 in the fourth as Brush moves into the 3A semifinals against the winner of today's 4 o'clock game between Ken Denver and Sterling. Faith Christian will play at 11:45 tomorrow morning in the consolation semifinals against the loser of the 4 o'clock game. Faith Christian was led this afternoon by Spencer Baz with 16 points, 7 for Christian Cambier, 5 points apiece for Alex Albright and Miles Finch, 4 points in the game for David Hawkins, as well as Grant Harkness, and 2 points for Liam Noon. As for the Beat Diggers, they got 16 points in the game from Jeffrey Dunker, 10 from Bryce Needens. He had a couple of huge threes in that third quarter, and then 5 points apiece from Trey Cranston and Kyle Rosenbrock, 4 points for Austin Garcia. Randy Baker contributed 3 and 2 apiece for Jake Brown and Mitch Tormolen. Now, the official book has got 35 rebounds to Faith Christian to 24 for Brush. I've got it 30 for Faith Christian to 22, as leading the way was Harkness for Faith Christian with 9. Beat Diggers got 6 from Kyle Rosenbrock. Turnover situation, they've got 18 committed by Faith Christian and 13 by Brush, which is pretty much what I've got. And at the free throw line, we're exactly on point there. It's a lot easier to calculate the free throws. Faith Christian in the game from the line, 9 out of 16. And that's part of the killer because the Beat Diggers were also barely above 50% at 11 of 21. So Beat Diggers still against a quality free throw shooting opponent. They've got to do a little bit better because, Jen, you can't survive on missing 10 out of 21 free throws.
No, and I think that Coach Garcia is probably, he addressed it all week, I know. They were shooting a lot of free throws this week in practice, I noticed when I'd walk through the gym. But, you know, that's a mental thing, too. That's like, okay, take my time, do my routine. It's got to be muscle memory, and don't think about it. If you think about it in sports, usually that's a bad thing. Usually it has to be just on the fly, reaction thing. Take your time, but make the free throws, do your routine.
Well, and for the Beat Diggers, they did hit a couple of clutch free throws down the stretch, namely Jeffrey Dunker's 2 free throws, and that essentially sealed the game. If not, that last three-pointer taken by Hawkins would have been very scary, but the Beat Diggers were able to stave off the Faith Christian Eagles an elimination, and they have knocked off the 5-time defending Class 3A champions with this victory. They improved to 22-3 on the season. Jen, I just cannot imagine that there's a team out there that's going to play as tough defensively as Faith Christian did against Brush this afternoon.
I think you're correct on that. And, you know, everybody in Brush is probably screaming and hopping up and down because that's a big thing to beat Faith Christian. I mean, that's something, like I said at the beginning, that's not going to break anybody in Brush. They're not going to have any love lost on that one. They're going to be celebrating.
Well, my former colleague, Pat O'Rourke, texted me before the game asking me whether Faith Christian and Brush, which they had met in the playoffs several times, whether Brush had actually ever beaten Faith Christian. Certainly not in football, even though they've had close encounters. In basketball, we pointed out in 2009 in the opening round in Salida, Faith Christian won handily, and no memories of them meeting in the state tournament in baseball. So this, like you mentioned, this is a huge, huge victory for the Beat Diggers as they advance to the 3A semifinals coming up tomorrow. We'll see if Coach Ken Garcia is anywhere around, as I'm sure he's trying to make his way, because it's very tight between press row and the first row here. You almost have to be borderline anorexic. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but you have to walk sideways. You cannot walk forward. You have to walk sideways if you're a big person, and I don't mean too big, just a regular size, to get through this row. So the Beat Diggers win the game over the Faith Christian Eagles by a score of 47-43. Keep in mind, we will not have 10-10 preps and more, even an abbreviated edition coming up today. We will have it tomorrow when we'll speak with our Major League Baseball analyst, Ralph Whitlick, and we'll recap this game. Again, that's on 10-10 preps and more tomorrow, coming up from 1 to 2. And coming up tonight, of course, we'll have the Avalanche against the Minnesota Wild. That game will start at 6 o'clock for Minnesota, with the Avalanche sitting at 10-11-4 on the year, and Minnesota at 13-10-2. the sound engineer and producer of Brush Beat Digger basketball this afternoon, doing a fine job for us as we got lots going on today. Back in studio is Christy Creighton. For Jen Goodall, I'm John Beltran. The final score, Brush 47, Faith Christian 43, as the Beat Diggers qualify for the 3A semifinals tomorrow at 4 o'clock right here on 1010, as well as KSIR.com against the winner of the Ken Denver Sterling game. We say good afternoon right here on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.